Low Energy Kevin on TGIF on Casual Friday.
They're in panic mode right now.
We are? Do I look like I'm panicking, Flat Cat?
So neither of these retards know how to run a live show.
Oh, Rio, that's not nice. That's not a nice word. I don't know. I can't believe Carl's so worried about us. I'm flattered.
News. It means they're going to have to broadcast it. So yeah. I'm not normally a guy who snipes things.
I see where you're going with this.
But I remember DabbleCon 2, where Kevin Brennan was all excited about sniping our show.
Yeah, they are pot committed at this point.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be a show to snipe.
Yeah, anyone could snipe it. We're not charging. So Carl's going to snipe it, and how will that hurt us? Since we're not charging for the show, we're just going to do a free live stream. How will that affect us? We don't really care how many people watch. I'm not really concerned with it. If Carl steals some of my live viewers, is that going to hurt me? No. Is it going to steal super chats in theory? I don't think so. I think we'll be okay, Carl.
For sure.
Carl, yours was different because you were charging. So I was being Robin Hood. I was giving to the poors. I was paying for for DabbleCon 2 and Hackmania 1, and I was going to pay for it, and then I was going to watch it so that the poor people could watch it with me, so I could save some money. We're not charging for the live stream. I wouldn't get involved with that fucking headache. Charging people? No, thank you. It's going to be free. So anyway, everyone can snipe me. Even this Adam Busch.
Okay.
You got to call it Carl's cucks. I mean, it's Carl's got more cucks now than Kumia. Kumia really doesn't even have any cucks left.
No, I know, but they all that's how they all got their names out there, is through Kumia.
Just change it to Carl's cucks. Kumia's cucks don't even make sense anymore because Kumia doesn't barely exist. He don't have any cucks. No one's cucking up to him because he's got nothing to cuck.
I'm not arguing this at all, and in fact, it's a great idea. I'm just thinking about how am I going to change the theme song in the.
Oh,
Even Kevin has been lost since Adam left his show. He needs a producer.
Yes, I'm lost. I'm confused. Carl's right. Kevin's struggling since Adam. Adam's been gone like almost in a year. He left the beginning of April, and now it's the beginning of February. So Adam's been gone 10 months.
So badly. Kevin running the show on his own is dreadful. He's terrible.
Oh, no!
Terrible at it. All right, so this is
nobody agreed. Nobody they just sat there. He literally just makes up shit, and then nobody ever challenges him because and that's the show. That's literally the show. If you do Carl's show, Carl talks, and then you have to agree with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you listen to WATP, they're always like, "Yes, correct. You're right. Correct."
Well, like I said, if they're not talking, I mean, this is literally a fact. Send me a clip of anybody disagreeing with Carl or not nodding their head. They all do the same show. Shuley, the shitwayer, and Carl. If you're not talking, you have to nod your head when these other clowns are talking. You got to nod your head.
See, this is the thing. So now they're saying that I make things up. Now, what I do on this show, we've been doing it for a long time now.
Oh wow, a long time.
Is I play a clip to provide context, and then we talk about it.
No, and then everybody agrees with you, or they nod their head.
Carl, that's what we all do.
Kevin just did, or we just saw Aaron doing earlier in the show, or what Chad does all the time is put words in my mouth and then respond to that.
No, Carl basically invented the gaslighting. Carl will just say shit and everybody nods, everybody agrees, even though it's not even close to the truth. And then it looks like the truth because all Carl's cucks are nodding their head or agreeing with them. Yes, and the yes and clown college. Clown car. Yes, and clown car, I meant to say.
Yeah, you know that fucking dork car, you know what he did? And then they just make shit up.
Right. Like what?
Now they're saying that's what I
Yeah, give us an example.
do. You're always saying everyone to like nod their head. No, the reason why people nod their head is because we show the clip and we explain the take on it.
And we don't talk over each other, so it's wait.
Oh no, I talk over people.
Yeah, that's not fun broadcasting when people are yelling at each other.
Adam would fix that.
if saying, I get it.
Correct.
Correct.
Right.
It's a way to acknowledge that I understand the point you're making.
Yes.
When you're done talking, I might make a point.
Right. They're even agreeing with how agreeable they are.
It's
They're even
unbelievable.
They're even agreeing about how and why they should agree with each other.
I told Carl today on my show, like,
You think even as a joke, somebody would be like, Carl, I don't agree with you, just like as a joke, but they're agreeing about how agreeable they are.
Also, Chad, if you don't want to be compared to Opie or John, stop pointing to your shirt with words on it and lifting it up like that.
Oh my God, Adam!
That's the funniest thing anyone's ever said. That's a real hoot. Yes, good.
Oh my
take.
God! I'm doing
Good.
it because John would say hypocrisy police. Adam, they don't get humor. Like, I'm making fun of John. I'm making fun of these people. I'm making fun of Aaron Emholt when I do the hype train. It's all
but they can't point that out because it's all yes and with Carl. Yes and whatever anybody says, you agree with them. Yes and Carl's from an improv background. Yes and
then when we said he brought up that's a fact, Jack. He goes, they copied John. I go, we're making fun of John because he stole that from Stripes with Bill Murray. It's stupid.
I actually have an example of that coming up where Chad's another one of these guys, just like Aaron Emholt, who lives in the now. So if he doesn't like you,
where are you supposed to live in? You're supposed to live in the future or the past? Doesn't Nietzsche tell you to live in the now?
He's always comparing me to Aaron Emholt, but yet you were a guy who was buddies with him. You were in business with him. You went on his show. He went on your show. He's at Content House. I never went in business with that. I never liked him. You're the one who, as soon as you realized he was getting clowned by the internet, you ran away from him.
They were in Content House together in Orlando?
Yeah, I went over the videotape and they were like, well, I mean, Steel Toe was remote, and it was Anthony Cumia, it was Steel Toe, it was Chrissy, it was Gino.
But Steel Toe wasn't in the house. He was just remote.
He was remote with April, but they were all clowning at me, saying all this shit, and they're saying how great Aaron was, and it makes Carl look like a fucking cock.
Carl's cocks.
And you're selling hot sauce, and selling hot sauce sucks.
No,
and if he doesn't like you and you sell T-shirts, then you're a loser for selling T-shirts.
I never said that. I never said that.
First of all, everybody sells T-shirts. So Chad thinks anyone that sells T-shirts is a loser.
That's the stuff about. That's the thing about Carl.
This is what Carl does. He makes up some scenario, and then everybody nods, or they don't even go. That doesn't even make sense. They just nod, or they go, "Yep, that's what he does."
I never said I said I've been selling T-shirts before you. He just lied.
I know, like which one is it? No. And if he doesn't like you and you sell T-shirts, then you're a loser for selling T-shirts. But all right, I'm going to get to that in just.
Look how they all no one goes. Huh? Doesn't Carl do that? Didn't he turn against Steel Toe when he palled up with Melton?
Yeah, that was the whole. Yeah, exactly.
And he was friends with Steel Toe, and then all of a sudden Steel Toe was not cool anymore.
Yeah,
Carl's like the loser clique in high school, where he's like, hey, we're losers, but this guy's a bigger loser, so he can't hang out with us anymore. He makes us look bad. I'd rather hang out with Hunchback Melon. That's how it goes. That's how the math works for this clan college.
Well, that's what happened with Chrissy Mayer when I said she wasn't funny. Her and Frank went on this campaign to smear me and he told Ski Mask and them to go after me. She told Carl to go after me. She told Anthony, and they all took Chrissy's lead. And all of a sudden, Carl hated me from out of nowhere. Then Anthony hated me from out of nowhere because Chrissy and Frank told people to do that. I know this very clear.
I think people thought Frank had like some clout, some cachet in show business, and he had none. Turns out he had none.
That's
because he was gonna do a Ike and Tina Turner with Chrissy and blah blah blah, and then it just it never happened.
I hate to be a Carl, but you're correct.
He just lies to his audience and makes shit up.
Who? Everybody? Steel Toe, right? But Carl doesn't do that. Carl never does that. Carl never lies to his audience, and everybody just nods like, "Hey, yeah, that's gospel."
I counted 16 lies in this clip.
Zero credibility. Kevin Brennan, Aaron Emholt, we proved today, has zero credibility. He just lied.
He proved? How did he prove? Did he present it to the court? And the court's like, yes, he has no credibility in this court.
Carl, I just proved today you have no credibility.
Chad Zumock has zero credibility. Kevin Brennan. And so I don't understand.
Well, he didn't finish about me.
I found out something else that I probably shouldn't reveal, but I just have to.
Please.
it's been haunting me. So I finally looked it up. You know, Kevin Brennan had a pilot.
Yes. Number
Okay,
one son.
So when you audition for a pilot, you do a first read for the casting director. If they like it, they bring you in to read for the creators. And then if they like that, they send the tapes to the network and to the studio. And if they like it, you get what's called a network test. I tested for Kevin Brennan's pilot to play Neil Brennan,
Holy shit. That's amazing.
which means I didn't get the part.
Right.
And-
I've seen the pilot. You were not in it, but
But it means both of us have spent a lot of time together. And I remember
Wait, how have we spent a lot of time together? He said he tested. He never read with me.
Well,
Or
he
is
talks
he
about
saying he read with me?
I don't know. Like, play a little bit more.
being in an elevator with him at I like it, you get what's called a network test. I remember being in an elevator with him after the test and writing down, and I remember feeling like neither of us got the part. Like, it was Kevin's show, and he was just so
Right.
dejected that I felt like, boy, I guess this didn't go well. Or I honestly only have vague memories of it. I'm trying to pull it back now that I figured out who it was. But I know these guys. These guys have been around a long time, and
That's
we've
incredible.
been doing the same stuff. But somehow, well, I guess no, we've all ended up in the same place. We're all yelling about Carl or with Carl or near Carl, and here we are.
The Tattleverse.
Carl's cucks.
Charles Cox and the
Isn't
Tattleverse.
that interesting that you were going to play Neil Brennan, who then went on to become extremely famous?
Oh no.
He was going to be played by someone on a sitcom, only to go on and be.
No. The Chappelle show was already happening. Carl has no idea what he's talking about, as usual. The Chappelle show was already happening. Neil was at the peak of his fame when I made the pilot, literally. So
But he also said extremely famous. He's not. He's famous.
he's
but
not
he's
even close to extremely famous. But again, Carl's Carl's always trying to like pretend that has all this wisdom and then he's going to pass it on to his listeners, and it's just always bullshit.
Be like, we're going to play Neil Brennan, who then went on to become extremely famous.
Completely not even true.
another lie.
Completely not even true.
Write it down.
I mean, it's so unbelievable. Go to Neil's podcast and see how see incredible numbers Neil's doing. Extremely famous.
I can guarantee you, Neil Brennan can walk through Tampa and Publix and he wouldn't even get recognized.
If Neil's in the general public, he gets recognized. I after the Chappelle show came out, I would be with Neil and people would come up to him. So Neil probably gets recognized maybe if he's out and about, maybe once a day tops. But the fact that he's like, he can't get, like he's Adam Sandler, he can't go anywhere because he gets hounded. I mean, again, this is Carl being like, this is what Carl thinks, so this must be true because this is what Carl thinks, even though he's literally never left Rochester. And this Adam Busch is like, we're all in this together. The same thing Bill Schultz used to say. We're all in this together. Are we, Bill? How's the Coke treating you, Bill?
Only to go on and be like, well, no, that's Neil Brennan from Netflix. Yeah, I know that guy.
Oh, Neil Brennan from Netflix. Oh, I got it. Oh, I see what he's saying. You mean Neil Brennan who sold out Madison Square Garden recently? That same Neil Brennan? I mean, these guys are and it's so sad. It's really sad. But this is what Carl does. He's like, Carl's smarter than everybody. He's like, yeah, Neil Brennan from Netflix. That's something literally no one has ever said. Neil Brennan from Netflix. You mean the nerds that watch Neil Brennan? Got it.